Hi, this is Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, which means that all of the products that I've used for today's Best Year Christmas card and the pretty lined envelope can be found in my Stampin' Up! Store using the link in the description below. Now let's get started. So for this card, we're going to use the Best Year bundle, and that includes the Best Year stamp set, and then the Best Plaid Dies that comes with this die and this die to create your plaid elements. So let's get started with a little stamping. I've got my Mossy Meadow ink pad and a piece of Pear Pizzazz and my stamp. And before I forget to mention, when you purchase the Best Year bundle in my store as a bundle, you do receive a 10% discount versus buying the elements separately. Okay, and there's our sentiment on the Pear Pizzazz. Let me just close up the ink. Now I'm going to cut that out with one of the Ornate Frames dies. Let me set this aside a moment. And then I'm also going to use that Best Plaid, Best Plaid die to cut a piece of Mossy Meadow. And I've got a piece of adhesive sheet here. And I'm just going to stick my cardstock to that. So I'm going to lay this down. And then I'm going to pull a second piece of this back. I'm trying just to expose just enough of the adhesive to coat the back of my piece of cardstock here, and then we'll do the same thing with this one. And there we go. The sticky pieces are these three that I've pulled back from the backing, so I'm just going to cut this loose and die cut it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cut the sentiment out with an Ornate Frames die, and you can see it's got a little stitching around the edge. And then I've also used another of those Ornate Frame dies to cut gold foil. I've got a piece of the Heartwarming Hugs designer paper, and then I used the Best Plaid dies to cut real red and a piece of Mossy Meadow. And you can see the backing sheet here from our adhesive sheet. So we're going to start and put this together. I've got a Mossy Meadow card base that I have cut 4 1/4 to 11 and scored at 5 1/2. This arrangement for a card orientation is great at Christmas time when people are lining up cards on mantelpieces. This one will stand up and take a little bit less space. I've also got a 1/4 inch by 4 strip of the Heartwarming Hugs designer paper, and I'm just going to put a little bit of multi-purpose glue on here and add that to near the bottom of our layer for the inside. Let me pick that up a second and make sure that I'm straight and all the way over to the edge. I love that the glue gives you just a tiny bit of wiggle room. And then go ahead and put that on the back and add this to the inside of our card. A little strip of designer paper is an easy way to turn a plain inside to a decorated inside. And then we're going to, actually I'm going to do these first and then put that down. So let's take my Take Your Pick tool to help me find the seams here in the backing sheet. And I'm just going to hold that down a moment. Put that off to the side. And then we'll pick these off. Okay. And then before I totally pull this off, let's be smart and pull my silicone craft sheet in here. Silicone. It's not silicone. Okay. And then I just want to line these up right next to each other and just press where they cross. And if I get these first vertical lines done, then I can come back and pull this backing sheet off. Okay. And then we'll turn this back over, straighten up these little bits since I didn't really give anything a good hard press. Okay, and now let's put that on our piece of Heartwarming Hugs. Oop. Actually, thinking about, I've got these ends out, the middle pieces will take care of themselves. I just want a little bit of adhesive out here. Now, of course, I could have done that with the adhesive sheet, but didn't think about that when I cut the red. So we'll just come here and put a little bit of multi-purpose glue out on these outside edge pieces, and then we'll put that down. Do you ever get in the middle of making something and you go, ah, there's a better way? Well, you're seeing me do that right here. Okay, and then I just want to pull my lines before I push them down and make sure that they're nice and straight. So I'm going to put my, oops, this one needs to come up a little bit, and then we'll give him a press. And same thing here. I want to get the red one down first and then line the Mossy Meadow up. And then let's do this. And then we're just going to come around and give this a quick trim with my paper snips. Okay, so we've created a plaid out of that Heartwarming Hugs designer paper. Okay, and then we're going, let me sweep all these little sticky bits aside. Now let's take that multi-purpose glue and put that on the back of this piece. And if I didn't mention, the designer paper and the red and green plaid strips were all cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And just centering this. Okay, so let's layer up our sentiment and the gold foil die cut with dimensionals. I'm going to put the dimensionals on here. And then centering this before I press it down. And I've got a piece of the Mossy Meadow diagonal stripe ribbon from the August through December mini catalog. And I'm just going to add a couple of glue dots to the back of the ribbon to hold it down. Okay, so let's put that right along here, just under that Mossy Meadow crossbar. And yes, I am leaving this little bit loose. And then we'll add, oops, here we go. Over here are my dimensionals on here. And then let's peel the backing off of this one and tuck it sort of between there. And then we're going to add a double stack there for that top one. And that will keep it from sagging. Okay. And then let's add our embellishments to this card. I'm going to use some of these wonderful gems from the August through December mini catalog. I'm using the ones in red. Going to move this one up to here, and I'm going to move this one over a little bit so that we're sort of framing the sentiment. So that's our card, and then let's do our envelope. So using the envelope dies, also in the August through December mini catalog, I have cut the flap here on one of the medium envelopes in the from the annual catalog, and then I've also used one of the dies to cut an envelope liner, also from that Heartwarming Hugs paper. And I'm just going to add, I don't want liquid glue because liquid glue causes my envelope to pucker just a little bit, and I don't like the look of that. So I'm coming up here just on the sides, and then let me grab my craft sheet again, and I'm going to come right up here at the tippy top of this and partially over onto the craft sheet. And the reason that I'm going partially over is that we don't want the adhesive peeking through our little filigree that we've cut. So let me slide this down in. And for this envelope, I am going to overlap just a tiny bit of the gummed area. Just checking to make sure that my adhesive is going to be where it needs to be. So I need to be up just another little smidge. Don't push anything down before you do your check. Okay, let's check again. No glue peeking through, but isn't that pretty on your back flap? And then you've got the lining to match your card. And that's our best year Christmas card for today. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your card making friends. Of course, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell if you'd like to be notified the next time I upload a video. This was Sara Levin, the Artful Inker. Have a great day. Bye.